Manchester United are being linked with several potential new signings ahead of the January transfer window. United have a new manager at the helm, with Ruben Amorim taking charge following the departure of Erik Ten Hag last month. The Reds appointed Amorim following his successful 4 years in charge at Sporting Lisbon, where he guided the club to the Portuguese title for the first time in 19 years. The November international break is in full swing, and United are not back in Premier League action until the end of the month against Ipswich Town, a game that will be Amorim's first in charge. With United spending 2 weeks before the return of club football, the hiatus is leading to increased speculation about the potential transfer business that may be conducted in the new year. Men's Sport takes a look at some of the latest United transfer news and gossip ahead of the January window. United are being linked with a move for Sporting Lisbon playmaker Pedro Goncalves. According to the Daily Mail, Goncalves is a player to watch for United ahead of the new year. The report claims that United may be tempted to make a move to sign Goncalves and reunite the 26-year-old with Amorim. However, it has been suggested that if a move was to happen, it would likely not be completed until next summer elsewhere. United striker Joshua Zirkzee is continuing to be linked with a move away from Old Trafford. Zirkzee was signed by United last summer from Bologna in a deal worth €42.5 million, but has scored just one goal across his first 17 appearances. According to Tuttosport, Juventus are weighing up an offer to sign Zirkzee on loan when the transfer window opens in January. The report claims that United are giving the proposal from the Serie A giants serious consideration. It has been claimed that United would be willing to let Zirkzee leave the club due to the interest in Sporting Lisbon striker Victor Gyökeres. The Sweden international has been tipped in some reports to follow Amorim to Old Trafford either in January or next summer. Manchester United centre-back Matthijs de Ligt has suggested Erik Ten Hag didn't get the breaks he needed to keep his job at Old Trafford, despite the Dutchman sharing early dreams of success while opening up on talks between the pair. De Ligt starred under Ten Hag at Ajax as a teenager, and the pair were reunited over the summer. United moved quickly to snap up the defender after fellow summer signing Lenny Yoro picked up an injury, and he impressed in a September victory at Southampton. That was arguably as good as it got for Ten Hag in his third season, though. The 54-year-old was sacked at the end of October after a defeat at West Ham left United down in 14th with just 11 points from 9 matches. West Ham's winner came via a controversial penalty, which PGMOL chief Howard Webb later said was the wrong call. De Ligt was at the centre of the penalty incident, and the Dutch international has opened up about his compatriot's bad luck. Normally, I am always self-critical, and I can get annoyed about things that I do not do well. But here I could not do anything about it, I could not blame myself for it. De Ligt is quoted as saying by De Telegraaf via Sport Witness. The referee committee also called us to say that it was not a penalty. That ended up being Ten Hag's farewell game, and De Ligt confirmed the pair had been in touch since the sacking. A dismissal can always be quite hard. We discussed some things, he said. Reflecting on the conversations they had before De Ligt's arrival from Bayern Munich, the defender said he brought me to Manchester. The goal was to achieve success together with Erik. He has not been very lucky. We played well in many matches, but we did not use the chances we got. It is a shame that it has to end like this. United went unbeaten across 4 matches under interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy after Ten Hag's departure. However, with new head coach Ruben Amorim taking over on Monday, Van Nistelrooy has also left the club. I've seen many moments where players were struggling and he kept his faith in them, Captain Bruno Fernandes said in his assessment of new boss Amorim. He always goes to the press conference and always defends their players to give them the best opportunity to shine. He had a really youthful team, so they needed that, and hopefully when he comes here he can do the same again with the youth. Us players with the most experience, we have to help him to get that and get the best out of every player at this club. Manchester United could have the perfect left-back option lying in wait as Ruben Amorim's era officially begins. Amorim has now taken on his role as United's new head coach following the departure of Erik Ten Hag last month. The 39-year-old left Sporting Lisbon to become United's new boss after previously spending 4 years at the Portuguese club. Work will already be underway on the potential transfer business that United may look to conduct in January, as well as next summer ahead of Amorim's first full season in charge. One position in the squad that is likely to be looked at for reinforcements is left-back. Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia are the recognised left-back options in the United squad. However, neither of the duo have played this season due to injuries, with Malacia not making a first-team appearance for the club since May 2023. Malacia made his long-awaited return from a knee injury for the Under-21s earlier this week. Shaw, though, remains on the sidelines with a calf injury, and it remains to be seen when the England international is available once again. United have used several players at left-back this season to accommodate for the absences of Malacia and Shaw. Diogo Dalot, Nistelrooy Mazraoui have been used in the role, as has centre-back Lisandro Martinez when required. One player who could be on United's agenda for either January or next summer is a familiar face for Amorim. Paris Saint-Germain defender Nuno Mendes has entered the final 18 months of his contract with the Ligue 1 club, and there is no word yet on an extension being on the cards. Mendes worked with Amorim during his time at Sporting before completing a £34 million move to PSG in the summer of 2022, having spent the previous campaign on loan. And his contract with the French Giants is set to expire at the end of the 2025-26 season. United already have experience in negotiating with PSG, having signed Manuel Ugarte from the Ligue 1 club last summer. Mendes was handed his senior debut for Sporting by Amorim when he was just 17 years old, so it will be up to United to try and capitalise on the bond between the player and their new manager if they want to sign the left-back in the months ahead. Mendes has made 10 appearances for PSG this season, with 1 goal and 2 assists to his name at left-back. It remains to be seen if the 22-year-old and the French club will reach an agreement over a new contract. If not, then it is only likely to lead to intense speculation around his future in Paris. Ruben Amorim has finally met members of his new squad at Manchester United, just under 2 weeks since he was appointed. While he was announced as Erik Ten Hag's replacement on the 1st of November, he remained with Sporting Lisbon for 3 more games. The 39-year-old arrived in Manchester for the first time on Monday, along with members of his coaching staff. The group boarded a flight from Beja Airport in Portugal to Manchester in the morning, just hours after orchestrating a come-from-behind 4-2 win over Braga in their final match in charge of Sporting. They immediately travelled to United's Carrington training ground, where they were met by Chief Executive Omar Barada, Sporting Director Dan Ashworth and Technical Director Jason Wilcox. While many of his players are away on international duty, Amorim did have the chance to meet some of his new squad. Pictures released by United show the new boss with his hand behind Luke Shaw's head in the Carrington gym. Also in that area, Amorim met Mason Mount, placing his arm around the midfielder's waist as he smiled at the Englishman before giving him a hug. The United chief also gathered in a group with Lenny Yoro, with Amorim shown laughing with the defender. He also had the chance to get to know Kobbie Mainoo, with pictures showing him speaking to then hugging the England international. The final player pictured meeting the new boss was Toby Collier. Collier was shown speaking to Amorim while the coach put his arm around the academy star's back. The quintet are currently sidelined with injury, hence their presence at the training. Amorim will likely meet the rest of his players next week ahead of his first game in charge. That will come on the 25th of November, away at struggling Ipswich Town, who are managed by former United coach Kieran McKenna. The new boss's first major decision also came on Monday, with the confirmation that interim boss Ruud van Nistelrooy had been let go, along with the rest of Ten Hag's staff. Van Nistelrooy had been eyeing a role under Amorim, but the Portuguese boss has opted to cut ties. Manchester United can confirm that Ruud van Nistelrooy has left the club. Ruud rejoined in the summer and has taken charge of the team for the past 4 matches as interim head coach, United said in a statement. Ruud is and always will be a Manchester United legend. We are grateful for his contribution and the way in which he has approached his role throughout his time with the club. He will always be very welcome at Old Trafford. René Hack, Jelten Ruelar and Peter Morel have also departed, and we wish them all well for the future. We will confirm the full men's first team coaching composition in due course. United have spent a hefty sum on Amorim due to the release clause in his contract with Sporting. He has signed a 3-year contract with the Red Devils, with the club option of an additional year. When announcing his appointment, the club said Ruben is one of the most exciting and highly rated young coaches in European football. Highly decorated as both a player and coach, his titles include winning the Primeira Liga twice in Portugal with Sporting CP, the first of which was the club's first title in 19 years,